Hey
Why not?
everybody, welcome into Folklore and Flourish. We're interrogating Mark as he's here today. We're trying to get him to get us a popcorn machine as he has not voluntarily bought us one. Explain yourself.
Wait, you just said I voluntarily bought you
After
one.
you haven't voluntarily.
Oh,
Don't try to twist it. See, people, he redirects the conversation because he lacks the courage to just be straightforward. Today's May 1st. I don't know why Mark didn't tell you the date or point to it yet.
I just did it right there so solidly. I'm like Vanna.
You're also here with Molly, but she's chosen to stay off screen today. Just receive pets. It's May 1st,
Is that
Hummels.
is that off screen right there for her?
It is.
Just under.
Sweetheart. Hey, everybody, welcome in again. As we've already said, we are starting off.
We've already stated this. We're not going to do it again, but we are doing it.
I'm not
Because we did
editing
it.
any of this out.
We're not editing any of this out. This is real life. This is Blue Box 29
Is it
at its
real life
best.
or is this a dream? And if it is
It's
a
a
dream, why are you
dream.
dreaming about us? That's weird.
Why is it weird though? Because we're kind of cool, awesome people.
Yeah, but like I have things to do, but I can't be in their dream right now. You get what I'm saying? Like I have other things to do than to have my energy sucked into someone else's dream.
That sounds pretty selfish of you for it just needing all of your energy.
I think I'm gonna try to lucid dream tonight. So whoever's got me right now, go and get.
You going to Mr. Roboto in your dreams.
Anyways, we are kicking off our 5th season of Folklore and Flourish today. Today is starting off May. So May is the month of creation and fertility. So the archetype is the life giver.
Oh, your whole calendar's not.
Yeah, my calendar's not up yet. I have to put
it
the
is the first.
whole
So I got a question.
line.
April, you started to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You have now done a whole season by yourself.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good, but the
I jumped in a few days, but like I know we had a whole bunch going on to where you just wanted to end with the stories.
Yeah.
But
But I think it's helped me transition to this month because I was kind of thinking as we were getting set up, maybe I want to try this month where I just do introductions. And then I talk about here's the question to think about as you're reading these or when you're done, or even just have a brief thing at the end of like, hey, so after you've read this, here's some stuff to think about, I just want to like keep mixing it up, try different things because I never, like, you don't know until you know.
yeah, and I mean, I guess as your audience, they could let you know what they like.
I want to know if they like Molly. Honestly, it's the only Molly wants to know that she's liked. Like no one ever talks about her. And she's like wondering why. Like it's not okay. But yeah, I don't know, it was good. It was a lot, but it was good. It made me kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of my own thoughts about things, as well as kind of acknowledge some areas that I want to grow in and work on. And I was excited for you, you were starting off your QHHT stuff and I don't know, you heard some of the episodes and I was excited for you. And so how is that going?
Yeah, it's going good. Just trying to strengthen my craft. So trying to get the research in as much as possible, studying and then getting clients coming in and getting to sit with them and really exploring the craft in the way of what else can I say that will help this person?
I like that.
And
Okay.
like, what can I do? Because I truly believe no matter what, like everything is happening for a reason. So if I look at the situation and I really feel what I'm doing and I'm like, okay, what does this person need from me? If I'm not getting it from them, what clues have they given me?
Right.
Because I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, man, I'm really good at improv. So why wouldn't I be good at doing that interview style? Like, I just need a couple clues and boom.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
you do better in the moment than you do when you rehearse things.
100%.
I think so, because
Yeah.
it's when it's more natural,
When I'm in the flow.
when
Yeah.
you're with the person, but that just comes with, like, doing it more.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, you have to start and be a little rigid at first.
Yeah.
And you could
Well, and
go,
then
"Well,
to
no."
not have somebody right there with me being
Right.
like, "This is what you're doing," you know? That's the challenging aspect of just it's all on me, you know, and results or feedback
Mm,
that I get from people. It's
yeah.
interesting.
That's awesome.
It's
I know
fun.
we have a lot more to talk about,
Mhm.
we have a lot to catch up on.
Mhm.
It's late, but I have a lot I wanted to do still.
Yeah.
Um, but so we're just gonna do some intros. We're gonna try this month where we have a little bit of discussion before, and then we get into the topic. So it might be a way of, I don't know, working on social skills in a way to where we can start conversations, but
Mm.
have authentic conversations that lead into topics. Because I think that there are ways that we can help each other, like you've said. We can help each other heal. So if we can help each other heal and maybe there's something we think we can do, like if I think I can do something for you and I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it by like an open conversation that's authentic that will lead to it.
Mm.
That's kind of what we're trying to do here,
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm excited. Like that's what we're going to be doing this month. And I would say for the first half of the year, because I think like January to June is like the first 6 months. I think of like when I was a little kid in kindergarten. You see the first 6 months and then you see the second 6 months in two columns, first half,
Mhm.
second half. But in the first half, I think May was the month that was my favorite to do because it's like the green month. So when my best friend is born on 5/5, I'm 8/8. I don't know, I really enjoy it, the significance of numbers and the
Yeah.
play and everything with that. And so it's also like the month of Taurus and everything, but I was excited because I told you it was the creation month. So this is like middle of spring, okay, our middle of our second season we've had now. So we're at the peak of it. I
Right.
think that I get along so much with May, right? My sister's May too. Mother's Day is May. Like it's a creation motherly
Right.
month. And with all the plants that we're bringing into the home and like raising and the vegetation we have going now,
Mm.
if someone want to sit in the peas,
We brought the peas inside because we live in the mountains, so it gets cold. And
yeah, it snowed the other day. Someone
yeah.
decided they wanted to sit in it. It was either her or our like 60-pound blue heeler dog because he likes to sit in dirt. Have
Mm.
you never seen him crawl into those, flower things out there?
No.
Yeah, he'll crawl into those and just sit there. I sent you a picture.
Oh,
I'll show
yeah.
you the picture. Okay.
Mhm.
But May is the creation myths, okay, birth and rebirth, fertility rites, sacred sexuality, growth and renewal, earth and body wisdom, plant and animal spirits, abundance and blessings. So
Mm.
it is all about life and the connection of life. So, like we said, I've had a season by myself. We've
Yeah.
had seasons where we've done really long episodes. We've done some short ones. We've done stories. Now we're going to try with just intros and leaning in.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because I think that this month we can do a lot of crossover with your documentary in this
Mm.
because this is a connection of life.
Yeah.
And we've talked about we really need to get bigger windows or get shelves and stuff. And
Right.
your room is like a top priority
Yeah.
because it needs to have life in it.
Yeah.
And I want to get the cameras that people have that track, like take the pictures, like whatever, but so we could see the plants because some plants are really active. And I would like to see if our plants are active. And maybe with certain like clients of yours, they would be more reactive to them. That just might be another interesting aspect of
That
it.
would be cool.
Because they are living things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, so I don't know if you know this or if I told you this, but one of the documentaries I was watching, the scientists found she's a retina person or an eye, whatever. The
Oh yeah,
but
the
like
eye doctor.
but yeah, but she dives into it even more to where on the back of the retina there's these sensors on our back, or the full back of the eye.
Yeah.
Is where it's at. But on plants, they're covered. The whole outside of plants are covered in that exact thing, and that's the thing that tells our brain what we're seeing.
Mm.
So plants can see.
That's interesting. Yeah. And
They can't see the exact way we can, but if you truly think about, like, man, there's a bunch of different ways they could probably see with
do
vibrations
you
and
think
energy.
it feels good to be a plant? I don't know. I just
Mm.
thought about the way it would feel like in your stem,
Yeah.
your stems reaching out to your roots, like,
Just growing and just like
yeah. And still moving, like you gotta go find water and like
just
dip your
feeling
toes in, but then touch the sun.
yeah, and just
Have you noticed that like the cats and the dogs treat, I don't know, I feel this, animals will treat the house better if we do, like putting in plants is a major thing.
yeah.
And when you start with plants, yeah, some animals will mess with them, but then it's been really nothing since. And the
Yeah.
peas are a different story, but that's because it's a huge like
Yeah, and it's
section.
new
And
and
they
it's on the
haven't even gone to
ground.
the bathroom in it, so that's awesome.
Yeah. But it's
But
on the ground too,
yeah.
for any of the animals. Like the fact that they haven't really done anything, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But we get all of those, and I don't know, I'm just very excited because we will talk about the sacred body. That's like our third week and desires with that. But we also have the sacred earth. Our 4, let's just go into our 4 weeks. The first week is that creation awakens. So, I mean, today is one of our very first breaths. And then we get into the fertile earth, week 3, sacred body and desire. And then the last one is abundance and blessing.
Mm.
So I feel like it's almost stages of what you're doing, right? So the opening up, and then all these different things, understanding how life is connected, both exterior and interior, and then like cosmic or, all this
Mhm.
other stuff. I don't know, it just connects it. And then we get into our body sink in, and then look at this abundance that we have now that we can do that stuff. So, with all of that, though, I am very excited because we are starting off with Creation Awakens, and today is the beginning. So we're at the very beginning. The theme is a creation from nothing.
Mm.
So the nothing has a lot of names. So
It
the 4 that we're going to look at that through is the New Zealand, a Norse, a Navajo, and a Chinese folklore story today. And then the question, so we're going to think about the question throughout,
Okay.
is that what wants to be born in me? So
Mm.
we're going to be living in the earth and stuff. And that's also why I wanted to do introductions this month, is because I want to be outside more. And so I don't want to spend hours indoors doing
Yeah.
this daily.
Right.
So that's why I took a week to get all of the stories done,
Yeah.
typed up and done, so that now I'm going to do the like verbal storytelling, and
Mm.
then I'll do the introductions and everything.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
like how
so I'm
you're
gonna
doing it.
try to get it done that way because I also want to have more time to do the activities.
Yeah.
Like today, we're going to sit quietly for several moments and imagine darkness slowly giving way to light. So it's like that light pyramid almost, right? So allowing that to come forward, maybe.
Right.
And so allowing ourselves to sit in that stillness, that darkness, we're going to think about what that was like too in our stories today. And we'll get to kind of think of that in 4 different aspects because
Mm.
we'll build up
Yeah.
from that. So we're going to look at that today with the beginning, and then we'll see you tomorrow. But enjoy these stories.
See you guys.
Before we begin, I want to take a moment to honor the cultures behind the stories we are about to explore. The tales shared here come from many peoples, lands, and traditions. I do not change these stories to fit modern expectations or to align with today's social standards. Instead, I present them as they were told, sometimes beautiful, sometimes harsh, sometimes challenging. We are not here to judge the past, but to understand it, to listen, to learn, and to honor the ancestors who carried these stories forward. We also share stories from various religious traditions. These are presented in their historical and spiritual context, with respect for their beliefs that they represent. Every culture deserves respect, context, and acknowledgement, and this space is dedicated to doing exactly that. Story 1. Io, the breath before all things. Before the weaving of sky and earth, before the tides found their rhythm and the forests their voice, there existed a vast and sacred stillness that was not emptiness but fullness beyond measure. In that boundless expanse dwelt Io, the source beyond naming, whose presence was neither seen nor grasped, yet known through the quiet force that moved without motion. Io did not rise from darkness nor awaken from silence, for there was no beginning to mark his presence, no boundary to contain him. He existed in completeness, holding within himself the seed of all worlds not yet formed, the unseen breath from which all life would one day unfold. Within that sacred being stirred the first thought, not spoken but willed, and from that thought came the unfolding of creation. There was no labor in this act, no shaping by hand, but a gentle release, as breath leaves the body without strain, natural and inevitable. From Io came Tekore, the realms of nothingness, yet not barren, for within them lay all possibility. These were the voids of becoming, layered deep and endless, where existence rested in unseen form, like seeds waiting beneath soil that had not yet known light, gathering strength and silence before the moment of emergence. From the depths of Tekore emerged Tepo, the great and enveloping night, where form began to gather within shadowed stillness. This was not darkness of absence, but darkness rich with life not yet revealed. A place where creation worked in sacred concealment, where the first rhythms of existence pulsed beneath the veil not yet lifted. Io continued the unfolding without movement, calling forth existence through divine intention. And from this emergence came Ra Ngi Nui, the Sky Father, and Papa Tua Nuku, the Earth Mother. They were drawn together in an embrace so close that no light could pass between them, their union complete and unbroken, a binding that held both life and limitation. Within that closeness, their children were conceived, many and powerful, each carrying within them a force of the world yet to come, each holding a fragment of the creative essence that had first stirred within Io. They dwelt in the narrow space between their parents, pressed in darkness, growing in strength but bound by the confines of that union. Though life stirred within them, there was no room to move, no breath of wind, no widening of the world. Among the children, voices arose, some desiring to remain within the sacred closeness, while others felt the weight of confinement and longed for separation, for the opening of space where life might fully unfold. The darkness that had once nurtured them became a pressing force, and the need for change grew as a tide that could not be held back, swelling with inevitability. At last, Tane, the child of forests and living things, took upon himself the burden of transformation, carrying within him the strength of roots that split stone and branches that reached for unseen light. He lay upon his back and placed his shoulders against his mother, his feet against his father, and began to push with the strength drawn from the very essence of creation itself. The effort was immense, and the resistance of the union was great, for the bond between Ranginui and Papatuanuku had never known division. Yet Tane did not yield, and slowly, with the force that echoed through all existence, the two were separated. The world trembled as space was carved into being, and for the first time, light entered, pouring into the space between sky and earth, revealing what had long been hidden. The sky was lifted high above, and the earth lay open below, and between them the world began to breathe, expanding with life that could now grow and move and take form. The children stepped into their domains, shaping the winds, the seas, the forests, and the storms, each carrying forward the creative power first set into motion by Io. Though the separation brought life, it also brought longing, and the love between sky and earth did not fade. Ranganui wept, and his tears fell as rain upon the body of Papatuanuku, while she answered with mists that rose to meet him, a constant reaching across the space that now defined the world. Yet within all things, from the smallest seed to the vastness of the sky, the presence of Io remained, unseen but ever present, the quiet breath within all life, the origin that never departs. Creation did not end in that moment of separation, but continued in every living form, in every cycle of growth, in every renewal of the earth, each echoing the first sacred unfolding that began in stillness and became the world. Story 2. Ymir, the flesh that became the world. Before the shaping of mountains and the carving of seas, before the wind found its voice or the stars their place, there stretched a vast and silent expanse known as Ginnungagap, the yawning void between realms not yet formed. To the north lay Niflheim, a land of deep cold and shadowed mist, where frozen rivers flowed from the ancient spring Snurgilmir, their waters hurrying into rime that spread outward into the emptiness. To the south burned Muspelheim, a realm of living flame, where fire moved endlessly, casting heat into the still void. Where these two forces met, the frozen breath of Niflheim softened beneath the touch of Muspelheim, and from this meeting came the first stirring of life. The melting frost gathered into drops, and from those sacred waters emerged Ymir, the first of the giants, vast and ancient beyond measure. He did not walk upon land, for no land yet existed. He lived within the forming void, sustained by the very forces that brought him forth. As he slept, life unfolded from his body, and from the sweat beneath his arms came other giants, born without union, carrying forward a lineage rooted in the earliest shaping of existence. Beside Ymir, as the frost continued to yield beneath the warmth of fire, came into being the great cow, Oithumbla, whose presence was as essential as the giant itself. From her flowed 4 rivers of milk, and these nourished Ymir, sustaining him within the emptiness where no other source of life existed. While Ymir drank deeply, Oithumbla fed in her own way, licking the salt from the frozen stones that formed in the frost. As she licked, something hidden within the ice began to take shape, slowly revealed through her steady action. On the first day, hair emerged, on the second, a head, and on the third, a full form stood free from the stone. This was Buri, the first of the gods, radiant and strong, whose emergence marked a turning within the unfolding of creation. From Buri came Bor, and from Bor came the sons Odin, Vili, and Ve, who would shape the world in ways not yet imagined. While the giants multiplied from Ymir's vast form, the gods grew in quiet opposition, their presence signaling a shift within the balance of existence. The void that had once held only stillness now carried tension, for within it lived both the ancient giant and the rising power that would bring change. In times, the son of Bor turned their will toward Ymir, for his existence was bound to the unformed state of the world, and from his body they would shape a new creation. They struck him down, and when he fell, such a flood of blood poured forth that it drowned nearly all the giants, save for a few who escaped to continue their lineage. From the body of Ymir, the gods began their work. His flesh became the earth, spread wide beneath the sky. His blood became the seas, the lakes, and the rivers that would flow across the land. His bones were raised into mountains, and his teeth and broken fragments became the stones scattered throughout the world. From his skull, the gods formed the arch of the sky, lifting it above the earth, and from his brain they cast the clouds that drift across the heavens. Sparks from Muspelheim were set into the sky as stars, bringing light into the vast expanse. Even the small creatures that formed within his body were given purpose, becoming the dwarves who would dwell within the earth and shape its hidden wonders. Thus the world was formed not from emptiness, but from the body of the first being, transformed through death into a place where life could take root. Though Ymir was no more, his presence remained within all things, in the land beneath the sky above, a reminder that creation itself was born from transformation, and that all life carries within it the memory of its beginning. Story 3. The Emergence, the people who came through the worlds. In the first world, which was small and dark, the first people came into being, though the land itself was not yet as it would later become. This world was known as the Black World, and within it living beings were not yet fully formed as humans are known today, but who carried the essence of life within them. Among them were first man and first woman, along with sacred beings who held knowledge of balance and order. Though life existed, it was unsettled, for conflict and imbalance began to grow among the inhabitants. The world, though a place of beginning, could not sustain harmony, and so the first people were guided to leave it behind. Through a sacred passage, they rose upward into the second world, leaving the first world as one sheds an old skin. This new world, the blue world, was larger and brighter, yet it too became filled with discord. The beings within it quarreled, and disorder spread once more, making it clear that this place also could not hold the balance needed for life to flourish. Again, the first people were guided upward, carrying with them the lessons of what had come before, though they did not yet fully understand their meaning. They emerged into the third world, the yellow world, where light was greater and the land more expansive, where the forms of life began to resemble more closely what would later be known as human and animal. In this world, the people grew in number and in complexity, and the rhythms of existence became more pronounced. Yet even here, imbalance arose, and it was in this world that deeper transgressions occurred, where sacred boundaries were crossed and harmony was once again broken. The world could not endure such imbalance, and the need to move onward became inevitable. The people prepared for another emergence, guided by holy beings who understood the path forward. They gathered together, forming a great reed, through which they would ascend to the next world. One by one, they climbed upward through the hollow of the reed, leaving behind the world that could no longer sustain them. Their journey was not one of ease, but of necessity, each movement upward carrying with it the weight of what had been learned and the hope of what might yet be found. At last they emerged into the fourth world, the world that would become the present earth, wide and open beneath the sky. Here the land stretched far, and the light of the sun and moon marked the passage of time, bringing rhythm and order to existence. The people, now more fully formed, were given guidance by the holy people, who showed them how to live in harmony with the land, the animals, and one another. They were taught the sacred ways, the ceremonies that would maintain balance, and the understanding that life must be lived in accordance was Hozho, the state of harmony, beauty, and order. The mistakes of the earlier worlds were not forgotten, but carried as knowledge, shaping how the people would live in this new place. The world itself was not given without challenge, but it was a place where balance could be achieved if properly maintained. Thus, the people came to dwell in the fourth world, not as beings of chaos, but as those who had journeyed through creation itself, shaped by each world they had passed through. The emergence was not only a movement from one place to another, but a transformation of being, a passage through stages of creation that brought life into its present form. Story 4, Pangu, the pillar between heaven and earth. In the beginning, before the sky arched above or the earth spread below, all existence was held within a vast and silent cosmic egg, where all things were mingled together without separation. Within this enclosed fullness, the forces of yin and yang lay intertwined, neither distinct nor divided, existing in a dense and formless unity. There was no light nor darkness as they are known, no above nor below, only a deep and undifferentiated stillness. Within this egg, Pangu came into being, growing slowly over countless ages as the balance of forces within the enclosure began to shift. As he grew, the lighter and clearer essence of yang sought to rise, while the heavier and denser yin settled downward, yet both remained confined within the same unbroken space. When Pangu awakened, he became aware of the pressure surrounding him, the weight of all existence pressing inward without release. Within him arose the need to separate what had long been bound together, to create space where life might one day emerge. Taking up a great axe, formed from his own strength and purpose, he struck against the enclosed shell, and with a force that resounded through the depths of creation, the cosmic egg broke apart. With the breaking of the shell, the clear and light elements rose upward to become the heavens, while the heavy and dense sank downward to become the earth. Yet the separation was not complete, for heaven and earth continued to shift, threatening to fall back into one another. Pangu stood between them, placing his body as a living pillar that would hold them apart. Each day the heavens rose higher and the earth grew thicker, and Pangu grew with them, stretching upward and downward to maintain the space between sky and ground. For 18,000 years he stood in this way, holding apart the forces that would otherwise collapse into one, ensuring that the world could take form. His breath became the wind, and the clouds moving across the expanding heavens. His voice became the thunder that echoed through the sky. His left eye became the sun, casting warmth and light upon the earth, while his right eye became the moon, bringing coolness and guiding the night. His body itself became a map of the forming world, each part carrying within it essence of what it would become. When at last the heavens were set firm and the earth lay stable beneath them, Pangu's work was complete, and his great body came to rest. In his passing, he did not vanish but transformed. His being becoming the world itself, his breath continued as the wind, his voice as thunder, his eyes as the sun and moon that marked the passage of time. His blood flowed into rivers and seas, carving pathways across the land, while his flesh became the soil that would nourish all living things. His bones rose as mountains vast and enduring, and his sinews stretched into the pathways of the land. His hair and beard became the stars that filled the sky, scattered across the heavens in endless number. Even the smallest parts of his being found purpose, for the parasites upon his body became the first humans, spreading across the earth to live within the world that had been formed from his sacrifice. Thus the world came into being not from nothing, but from the transformation of the first living thing, whose body became the foundation of all existence. Though Pangu no longer walked between heaven and earth, his presence remained within every part of the world, in the wind that moves through the mountains, in the rivers that flow across the land, and in the sky that stretches above, held apart by the labor of the first and greatest being. Daily Thread for May 1st. Creation breathes before form is named. The first body becomes the world. Heaven rises from sacred separation. Earth remembers every ancient wound. Life climbs through darkness toward balance. Fire births both ending and beginning. All worlds are shaped through passage. The beginning still lives beneath us.